Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to Eclipse Day. Please bear with me. I was meditating pretty heavily this morning and my mind is still kind of fuzzy. I know what I want to say and I know the intentions that I want to set with this video. Just bear with me if I say a lot. It's because I'm gathering my thoughts. So we are going to do the full moon in Capricorn, partial lunar eclipse, portal closing ceremony. What you want to do when you're setting your intention for this is meditate on what it is that you feel like you need to release in your life. It could be outside of you, environmental. It could be people. It could be a job. It could be your actual environment. Mine, for me personally, is something that's internal that I've been working on. Healing anyways, been working on healing this anyways, but I didn't realize that it was such a hindrance in a lot of ways. I kind of had an epiphany, an aha moment this morning when I was meditating. I was like, oh, damn, I've been working on that, but I haven't really been focusing on it because my intuition has been telling me quite a bit that this is what I need to do to change. This is what I need to do to change. And I'm so stubborn. Yeah, right. A Virgo being stubborn, really. A Virgo that has a stellium in her 12th house that's in Virgo. It's like, oh, really? That's stubborn Virgo, right? So that's what I'll be releasing. I'm not going to do the full ceremony. I'm just going to kind of show you, give you an idea. What I want you to do, so you're going to need a piece of paper with pen to write your intentions down. The stones that I'm going to be working with today, because it really helps with helps me with grounding, releasing negative energy, and self-love. So I have my tumbled rose quartz and I have my black tourmaline. I also have a black tourmaline around my neck. Remember that this is going to be the giveaway necklace for any purchases during the month of July. Any reading purchases on my website during the month of July, or event purchases on my website during the month of July. I have sage. You guys have done a ritual with me before. You know I use the leaf sage. You can use the bundle as well. I also have my Palo Santo. For this particular ceremony, I'm only suggesting that you burn the sage. I'm not going to actually burn it. I burned a whole bunch of sage before I started the reading while I was meditating, and so it's already kind of smoky in here. And then I have a black protection candle. It's like about releasing and protection. You can use black, you can use white. I got mine from the local metaphysical shop. It smells really good too. So there's forgot it doesn't show it. It's like I know it's like handmade. So I mean all candles are handmade, but so what we're gonna do, what I want you to do is light your candle. So we'll do that. And again, I'm not going to do the whole thing, and then you're going to light your sage, and I'm going to have my stones sitting right here next to the candle for the protection. And then you're going to write on the piece of paper 3 times. You're going to write down what it is that you want to release. And I actually just put the word release and then the thing that I want to release, right? And so I wrote that 3 different times, like 3 sentences. And then you're going to fold it, and you're going to fold it away from your body. So I'm going to fold it up this way, right? And then I'm going to fold it again away from my body. So I'm folding it that direction because I'm trying to release it. I'm trying to remove the energy. And then I'm going to fold it 3 times away from my body. And then the 4th time, so it's in like a little square. And I'm not going to do this part because usually like what I would suggest is also having like a bowl of water next to you, or doing this in like having like a pot or a pan or something like that next to you, or doing it outside works too. And then you're going to burn it, and you're going to burn it using the flame of the candle. Okay. You're going to totally burn this piece of paper. And then and I also don't want to do it right now because I want to be able to do it later tonight in my own little ceremony thing, or maybe later this afternoon. I haven't decided yet. So, and what I would suggest that after you burn it, You either like flush the paper or you release the ashes out into like, you know, into the wind or something like that. And then I would put the stones that I chose to release my intentions with, I would set it underneath the moonlight, like set it outside underneath the moonlight all night long while the eclipse is happening, okay? And that way, these two stones for the next 6 months until the next eclipse cycle that we're having, these two stones will be filled with that energy of releasing that certain thing, and it's kind of like a protection energy for me. Get it? Okay, so that's what that is all about. Some of the things, I wanted to burn that out because I don't want to use it all up right now. So we have some other placements that are happening today that can really help with releasing anything from your life that you need to have released. So we have Mercury actually moved back into Cancer. It's retrograde still. Moved back into Cancer and will be there until it goes direct on July. Actually, it's going to go direct on July 31st and it'll stay in Cancer until like August 11th when it moves back into Leo. That's like one of the reasons why I'm kind of having a hard time with my words, I guess, right now, is because Mercury moved back into Cancer. We also have, there is a Venus, Venus Saturn opposition. So Venus is in Cancer, Saturn is in Capricorn. This can be a placement right now that really is kind of eye-opening when it comes to karmic relationships. Or, you know, if you have kind of found yourself like stumbling into a relationship where you have all of those like giddy feelings for people, like getting, you know, like the yummy feelings inside, it could really be something that is more karmic than you realize. A lot of times during this kind of transit, you can find yourself attracting people that it's almost like, this is the way that I explain it. It's like the same soul, but in a different meat suit, right? So we are attracting the same person or the same soul over and over and over again. They're just wearing a different mask or they're in a different meat suit completely. So, allowing yourself to really recognize what is true and what is an illusion right now is huge. If you are attracting kind of the same person into your life over and over and over again, there's a reason for that. That soul is trying to teach you a lesson. So I want you to listen very, very carefully right now to what it is that you're supposed to be learning. It could be that you need to learn how to feel better about yourself, or you need to not rely on the love of another person or the acceptance of another person in order to love yourself. Those kinds of things can really be huge for this time. So let's see, what else? Is there another? Saturn and the North Node are still, Neptune and the North Node are in a trine. So it's actually a really good time for spiritual progress and kind of knowing, like finding out what your purpose is in this lifetime when it comes to spirituality. I've noticed a lot, and there's no right or wrong for me. Like what it is that you're going to be believing in, there is no right or wrong for me. What you believe in is what you believe in, and that's where your soul is taking you, right? But I've noticed a lot of readers, several readers, like a handful of readers, have really changed direction in their belief system. And it's almost as if they kind of had an epiphany or an aha moment. Like for me, I grew up Christian, but I grew up Christian on my own volition. Like my family was not, we didn't go to church, but I really wanted to. I was always searching for a higher power. So I grew up Christian. I knew the Bible very well. I was actually baptized when I was 10, and then I was baptized again when I was 23. I think I was 23. And I was a youth ministry leader. I worked with the high school kids. I went on trips with the high school kids. I ministered to them. I did a lot within my Christian community. And then I started to fall away, like probably, I mean, I still believed. I was always a believer, but I wasn't going to church very often. And that was towards the end. It was like close to like 2009, 2010-ish. Like, again, I still believed in it. It wasn't that I had removed my faith or anything like that. And even today, I still believe in a lot of the principles of the Bible. I believe in a lot of principles of Christianity. But I also believe in principles of Buddhism, and I believe in Jewish principles, and I believe in Jehovah's Witnesses, just everybody, right? Like, we have to remember that religion is not a structure. Religion is not a building. Religion is about what you feel inside. And I feel like every single man-made religion that we have, or a lot of religions that have been formed throughout the centuries, they all have a little piece, right? They all have a little piece that's right. They all have a little piece that's wrong. Nobody knows for sure, unless you've passed away, what is true and what is not true. I would say, if I had to put a label on it, I would say that I'm more Buddhist these days than I am Christian. But that doesn't mean that I'm a Buddhist. That doesn't mean that that's all that I believe in and that's all that I worship. I have a very open mind. And I don't judge anybody for what they're doing. So if you find that you're questioning your entire belief system right now, it's okay. And it's normal to do that. And in order for you to really find out who you truly are and what you truly believe, you need to make an educated decision for yourself. Meaning, look at all of the religions, look at all of the aspects. Make sure that everything that you are taking in right now, it's what you want to take in and not what somebody else is trying to tell you to take in. If you have been a New Ager, quote unquote New Ager, your entire life, and now you've decided to follow the Word of God and the Bible and Christianity, that is your choice. As long as somebody else is not making that choice for you, but that's what you feel in your heart you need to do, then that is the right thing to do. Do you see where I'm coming from with this? As long as you're not being brainwashed, you are not settling on a certain belief system. Don't subscribe to a belief system that somebody else told you to subscribe to. Subscribe to your own belief system, and always leave room for God, Source, Jehovah, Yeshua, whoever it is that you pray to. Always leave room for them to work in your life. Because regardless of who you are praying to, it is an energy source, right? It is not an actual man or a woman that we are praying to. We are praying to an energy source, and that energy source lives within us as well. So just, allow yourself to stay open-minded. I'm not entirely sure where that came from, but I feel like this Neptune North Node trine that's happening, it's really challenging a lot of people in their belief system right now. That Saturn-Venus opposition that's going to be happening for the next couple of days is also going to question everything within yourself and what you truly need in your life. This karmic activity that's happening right now, you have to see the lessons in it. Because if you don't allow yourself to see the lessons in it, you are going to be in a very big illusion. Huge illusion, right? Huge. Okay. All right. So 13 minutes of talking. I appreciate you guys listening to me. Somebody asked me what I have in my cup of coffee. I actually drink like a keto coffee. It has like the grass-fed butter and the collagen and the MCT oil in it, along with a little bit of creamer. And that's why it has that residue on the side, is because of like the collagen and all of that stuff. So some people call it bulletproof coffee. It's good for your brain. It's good for your brain. It's got good fats in it for your brain. All right, so we have the Emperor energy and the Death card. Very interesting. This is kind of what I was talking about. The transitions are really big right now that we're going through, and I don't want you to feel like you have to control everything, because you actually have no control. We have free will. Free will simply means that you have your own mind and you can take detours. Before you were even born into this lifetime, you had a soul contract that you drew up for yourself. These are the lessons I'm going to learn. These are the people I'm going to come across to learn these lessons. I'm going to learn it the easy way. I'm going to learn it the hard way. You might have written in detours. You might not have written in detours. Free will is all about that detour. You can make a decision to do this instead of doing a straight line to where you're going. There is a sense of needing to come into control right now, or allowing yourself to control maybe the past, maybe control the karmic activity that's happening. You could be dealing with an Aries or a Scorpio too. I am reading for a lot of people, so it's possible. We also have the Six of Cups and the Strength card. This feels very karmic to me. This feels like the lessons that we're learning right now and the releasing that we're doing. If you notice in the Death card, there is that full moon in the back. And the Death card is about the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? It's represents Pluto. And Pluto is very prominent right now in all the transitions that we're going through. I know Pluto is very prominent in my chart right now with all the transitions that we're going through. So I'm trying to be keenly aware of what lessons I'm supposed to be learning right now. Like the last 3 days, I really, I tried, yesterday especially, I tried to force myself to get some work done, and I ended up with a migraine. And I had to reschedule several readings because, like, I couldn't think straight. I literally couldn't think straight. I think I spent like half the day in the bathtub because I would just wanted to be floating. I just wanted to like be weightless, right? And even though I had kind of taken the weekend time off to recuperate and recharge my energy, I really needed one extra day. And so I'm learning that as much energy as I use and as many people as I connect with on a regular basis, on a daily basis, I have got to allow myself some downtime to recharge. And I hadn't done that, taken a chunk of time like that out of my schedule to recharge. And so it was much needed. It was very, very much needed. One of the things that I do want to mention that I forgot to mention yesterday, the Leo birthday special is now available. So if you would like to get the Leo birthday special, it's on my website, fearlessintuition.net. The link is actually direct link to the reading. It's in the description box below. And yeah, I forgot to mention that yesterday. The Cancer birthday special is still going as well for another week. I'll probably take it off next Monday. So I'll remind you guys again before I take the Cancer birthday special off. But okay, so I feel like the transitions that are happening right now are very karmic. They have a lot to do, wow, there's so many major arcanas here. Has a lot to do with the stability in your environment. So we have the 10 of Pentacles and we have the Wheel of Fortune. It feels very much like there's going to be a really big shift in someone's environment. And I feel like the reason why is it's something from their childhood. It's something from their past, but and it's a good shift in the environment. I feel like this is going to be something that is going to be more stable, more grounding for them. But it feels as if this transition is happening, like this is the time that it's supposed to be happening. This is the moment. And it's making them much stronger. I don't know if this means that somebody is moving. I don't know if it means that the people in their environment are changing. I don't know if it's, I don't know, but it feels like they were trying to control it before and they're realizing that the transition has to happen kind of organically, or they need to allow the transition to happen in a much easier, smoother kind of fashion. Let's see what this Emperor represents. Okay, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. And I do feel like some of you are actually taking control of your own happiness too. The reason why I feel like the Emperor is a controlling energy, and I don't mean controlling in a bad way. I mean, sometimes we have to release control in order to be happy. Sometimes we have to have a little bit more control of our own environment or the way things are going in order for us to be happier, right? I feel like this is somebody standing up for themselves. We have the Ten of Cups here and we have the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like somebody needed to stand up for themselves. And in standing up for yourself or taking control of the energy yourself, you were able to find that Ten of Cups happiness, or you're able to find that Ten of Pentacles. And that may be something that somebody is releasing. Like, I'm sorry, my allergies. And I'm releasing control over what my future happiness looks like or what my future stability looks like. I'm going to work as hard as I can. But the transition is within, I've done everything that I possibly can for my happiness. And now I have to give it to the universe to do the work, right? It's time for the universe to do the work. See what this Death card is. Whoa. I'm going to get that. 1 second. It literally fell across the room. But it's the sun. So we have the sun on the Death card. I feel like this transition is giving somebody a lot of clarity and healing. The sun is like the happiest card in the deck. It's the best card to get. Everything that's happening right now, if you feel completely miserable and you're like, Betsy, this reading is all about like happy times and stability and I'm not feeling that, you have to know that this is that ashes, right? This is the phoenix rising from the ashes. You may land on really harsh energy first before things start to fall together. Know that you're healing. When things are really hard, when things are really painful, when things don't feel, you're like, my life sucks, everything's horrible, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like that. First of all, staying in that kind of vibration is not going to bring healing. Allowing yourself to see through the negative bullshit that keeps coming your way, and allowing yourself to not have the negative self-talk that is so critical to release for us. Allow yourself to go through the healing motions. Allow yourself to go through the transition to heal, right? That's what this sun card is saying. This transitional period, this phoenix rising from the ashes moment in your life is bringing you clarity. And it's probably shining a lot of lessons from your childhood, from your past, a lot of probably South Node, because the North Node would be this lifetime. The South Node is the karmic stuff. The South Node is either from your childhood or from past lives. And the South Node is in Capricorn with Saturn and Pluto, right? And Pluto rules the Death card. And Pluto is about death and transformation. It's about having to change in order to evolve and grow. Pluto is all about evolution. Okay? So let's see what this Six of Cups is. The Hanged Man on the Six of Cups. If you guys feel like you are a bit stuck in if you feel like you're stuck in the past, you don't have to be. The Hanged Man is about looking at things in a different perspective. And it's really interesting. I actually put a meme up yesterday on Instagram about looking at something in a different perspective. Just because, let's see, it's not, let me say it, I'm going to find it so I can say it correctly and it's not something that is, okay. If you can't change a situation, and I actually put this up on Twitter and then put it up on, no, this is the one it is. You're never in the wrong place. Sometimes you're in the right place looking at things the wrong way. That was the thing I put up on Instagram. And the other thing is if you can't change a situation, change your perception of it. That's where your personal power is. Either be in control or be controlled. It's your choice. So this does not have to be a time where you're like, everything is just shit. Everything is wrong. Everything is going wrong right now for me. I have no control over any of this. You can control your emotions. You can control the way that you see things. You may not be able to control what's happening in your environment or the way other people are treating you, but you can control yourself. So either allow your environment or allow all the things that are happening to you to control how you feel about life, about how you feel about your situation, or you can look at it in a brighter way, in a brighter perspective, and see that all of these things are actually changing for the better. Because whatever it was that you're having to release in your life, you weren't happy with it anyways. You may have thought at one time you were happy with it, or you're codependent on it, and that's why you're pissed off that it's leaving your life, because you're codependent on an environment, you're codependent on a person, you're codependent on a job. And the universe is trying to say, but you need to be independent. You need to have a non-attachment to things. You need to have your own inner strength, which is what we're clarifying next, which is the Strength card. And within that inner strength, that's where you find the safety and security of the Ten of Pentacles. I love that we have 2 10s here, but they're the happy 10s. There it is. You have to be broken in order to rebuild. We have another Pluto card. So the Tower on the Strength card, if you feel like everything is falling around you, falling down around you, that there's a reason for it. If you feel like everything is falling apart right now, it's because everything is actually falling together. It has to fall apart. You have to make room in your life to bring things in, right? So let's see what the Ten of Pentacles is. Aha. Love that. This is bringing you to the end of a cycle so you can start a new one. Whatever it was that you felt was your safety and security before, I feel like that's being taken away from you. And the reason why it's being taken away from you is because it really wasn't safe or secure. You may have felt that way at first. It reminds me of when I was getting divorced for the second time. That sounds really silly as I say it out loud. But when I was getting divorced for the second time, I literally, I made the choice. I finally made the choice. It was, there were events that had led up to it that weren't of my choosing. I did not create the events that led up to my choice to leave. But when I felt like everything was falling apart around me, and when I finally realized, it was months and months and months later after the fact, but I finally realized, I was like, oh, I was depending on that for my safety and security. And sometimes I look back and I'm like, would I rather be comfortable and safe within that environment, because it was all about the structure, right? Like I had a big house and I had the job and I had the car and I had like all the things, right? All of the things. That's what I talk about with the Ten of Pentacles. Like, sure, you can have all the things, but are you really happy with it? And I knew within my soul that I wasn't really happy. And I knew that there was a price to pay to have all of the material items, all of the things, right? So in order for me to actually be really happy, I had to release that. I had to give it to the universe, and I had to say, all right, universe, here's the deal. I'm giving all of this to you, and I'm going to trust you with it, that you're going to bring me back into safety and security. And for the last 3 years, it's been about 3 years now, like since 2016, 3 years, there has been kind of an upheaval when it comes to how I see myself, and it's going to last. And I know that because in my birth chart, it's telling me all the things that why this is happening to me and stuff. And it's actually going to last until, and it has to do with my Pluto. So this is why I'm saying, like, in your birth chart, it can tell you a lot about who you are and what kind of things that you're going through and why. There's a really good app that was suggested to me called CoStar, CO-STAR, CoStar. It's an app that you can put on your phone, and you put in all your birth information, and you can literally see the lessons that you're supposed to be learning and how long you're supposed to be learning them. It's pretty cool. So anyways, going back to the reading, I feel like the safety and security question is here, because you have to end a cycle. You have to close out a cycle in your life, something that you don't feel, that's not really secure. It may look really secure, but it's not actually secure, and it's not for you. And then the energy shifts, right? Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Then something much bigger and better comes in. If you try and control your happiness too much, the universe is going to be like, now listen, right? So after a time of everything falling apart and you having to gain some inner strength, which is what this lunar eclipse is going to help you release the things that need to go, and that's going to feel like everything's falling apart. But then the Eight of Pentacles on the Wheel of Fortune, look at that. You get to rebuild, and you get to rebuild something from the ground up that's much more stable than it was before. It's not just going to be put together by a little bit of mud. It's actually going to be put together by cement this time, right? And it's not going to be something that is wobbly and that you can't believe in or you have no faith in, because now this is something that's going to be much sturdier for you. So, and a lot of people say to me, Betsy, I don't feel like the good stuff is coming. I don't feel like the good stuff is coming. And then I have to say to them, but darling, the good stuff is already happening to you. You don't go years and years and years without something good happening. You just have to look at a different perspective. Even all of the little tiny things, the little tiny wins, right? Even if you get a job, it's not your dream job, but you have a job. That's something that's going to be good for you. That's a win, right? It's not that you're going to get all of your wishes and dreams to come true overnight. And some of your wishes and dreams, the universe is looking at you saying, you think that that's what you want, but I guarantee you that's what you perceive as happiness. That's what you perceive. That's what you've been programmed to believe that's going to make you happy. But I guarantee you that if I give you something like this, if I give it to you in a different form, you'll be much happier. You'll be much more grounded. You'll feel much more safe and secure with what I want to give you, with what your soul and God wants to give you, right? All right, my loves, have a wonderful, wonderful lunar eclipse. If you would like to take pictures of you doing your ritual tonight and send them to me, I would love to put them up on my Instagram story. I love to see everybody setting their intentions and releasing it out into the universe. I think it's very cool. So do that. And if you'd like to get a reading with me, I have a couple of spots left open towards the end of next week. Also, I think I have a couple spots open, like one on Wednesday and a couple on Friday. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm pretty sure. Also, what else? Anything else? I don't think there's anything else. Oh, these necklaces are going to be on sale this week. I'm really excited. Ryan was working on them last night and taking pictures, so I'm really excited to get them up. I love you all. Take very good care of yourselves. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.